We came ready, and I personally came armed with my freshly issued certificate to practice in Uganda for purposes of this case. But instead of the case against Dr. Besigye and Mr. Lutare proceeding, what has happened, we are leaving this court with one of the lawyers for Dr. Besigye, Aaron Chiza, having been assaulted and now sentenced by the court. I would like a colleague who saw what transpired initially, because we were at the back, entering when we found them, grabbing Aaron, assaulting him and getting him out of the court. I would like somebody who was present from the beginning, lawyer Samuel Muyezi, to address you on that. Is that the human rights of Advocate Aaron Chiza have been violated in the military, in the court martial before them, because the court was in session. When I found them taking him out and assaulting them, the court was in session, the chairman was seated. Everybody goes to court expecting that that court or tribunal will protect you. So Aaron Chiza should have been protected. If you need to be removed, you are restrained and removed, not pounded with fists, with kicks, with all manner of assault. So I'm calling upon those of us who are able to record. We need to see exactly what happened, because when the court was giving the ruling on Aaron Chiza, they stated that he assaulted an orderly. But what my eyes saw were orderlies, not one. Orderlies assaulting Aaron Chiza. Even when he was at the dock, I saw him being assaulted. And I know he is injured. I didn't speak to him, but from those blows, he is injured. A court's first duty is to protect human rights. A court or a tribunal, and it is in the Constitution. Nothing about his well-being, just a sentence. We are very, very disturbed, and one wonders if an advocate coming to represent Chiza Besigye can be assaulted to that extent. Are they going to find justice in this military environment where use of force is what they know? It is very disturbing.
Max, and of course, even the leader of opposition will address you on what has transpired today. We want to re-emphasize the point we have always highlighted. There is no justice in this building here. I don't want to call it a courtroom. Whatever is happening is a mockery of justice, travesty of the law, of the highest order. That's what is happening. The environment here, we have always talked about it. Everyone can attest to that. Transgression of the law, transgression of the highest order. What we have witnessed in the case of Chiza Aaron is nothing else but defilement or rape of the Constitution. Because at least, even if they were to subject him to whatever they have, the sentence they have handed down against him, probably there should have been a modicum of civility to have some semblance of trial of sorts. However, shallow it could have been, even if it was a sham trial, at least there should have been a semblance of trial. But it's unprecedented in the history of this country, in our jurisprudence, that a person can just be sentenced without a formal charge. There is no charge sheet, without even some scintilla of evidence being adduced, at least to be granted a right to be heard, and also to be asked to take a plea and to explain yourself, in total violation of a non-derogable right enshrined in Article 28 and 44 of our Constitution, the right to a fair trial, a right to a fair hearing. Even criminals who have confessed, who have made confessions, they are taken through certain processes. But right from the word go, they just bundled him, put him in the dock. Even when he was put in the dock, save for hugging Dr. Besigye and the Bedrutale, those are the only things he did in the dock. He was not permitted any opportunity, given any opportunity to say anything. Anything. He was just brutalized and all of a sudden sentenced to 9-month imprisonment at Chitalia. What a shame. They have rendered our Constitution a paper tiger, which is it's an absurdity. So we are not taking this matter lying down. As the legal fraternity, we are going to invite our colleagues at Uganda Law Society. We are in touch with our brother Semakadde. Good thing he campaigned on the platform of banging tables, and also Radical Bar. There are new dynamics introduced within the legal fraternity. This is a matter we have to address as a team. This is not a matter of Aaron Chiza alone. This is not a matter of the team that is representing Dr. Chiza Besigye here alone. This is not a matter for the political actors who are here alone. It's a matter for everybody who respects the due process, a matter for those who respect our constitutional order. So we are going to raise it with colleagues in the legal profession and see how it's going to be handled at that level by all lawyers, because it's an affront it's an affront, first of all, to the Constitution. It's an affront to the entire legal profession, and it's an affront to the right to practice our profession. And that is a matter we need to take seriously as a team, and this is what we are going to pursue vigorously. But regarding the matter of Dr. Chiza Besigye, again, it is really baffling. It's a matter which is really disturbing to us, that when we are still handling preliminary issues, then the judge advocate, not the judge, the prosecutor is jumping onto some other matters which are already choreographed. That they are coming up with a new count, they are adding some other person. These ones are quick to give a ruling, stampeding every procedure, every known procedure in any given criminal justice system. It's being violated. So the whole environment here, as we have said, and we want to repeat the same, is not synonymous, is not, rather the whole environment, the hostile environment here is not conducive for dispensation of justice. And this is a matter we want to pursue vigorously to ensure that justice is done.
I believe that this is today's event. Since we came to this court, our colleague was one of those who had been listed among those that were not really supposed to proceed in this matter. And the lead counsel then was well briefed about that matter. The list, which had 3 names of lawyers, by today had 10 names. Luckily, as I entered, I was allowed to enter into the bar. Aaron was following, and immediately Aaron tried to enter as one of the lead counsel in this matter. He was restrained by 2 officers. Of course, it was very clear. As you try to defend the rights of others, you expected to defend your rights too. The act of aggression was not by Aaron, but by the forces.
The court orderlies.
The court orderlies. I don't even know if actually they're not court orderlies. By the military who have no name tags, which is also unlawful. The rest you all saw. Coming back to the issue of contempt, we received instructions while in the dock, and it was very clear. First, he gave instructions to all lawyers to represent him, and we were ready. He raised issues of torture. His arm was clearly dislocated. The marks were clear for anyone to see. I took a picture using my phone as part of the evidence. He had been strangled all through, up to the genitalia, as he put it. That everything that you can, he said was not even in his conscience to tell us on how to proceed, because we wanted to share with him as a lawyer. He left it to us. But what he left to us, as you saw, were not even given a chance for him to be heard through his lawyers. And the rest is on record. Let no one tell this country that this was not premeditated. We have the list which had been made of those that somehow had to end up this way. It's not the first time. And this is so telling on why we say this is a kangaroo disciplinary, I think, tribunal of the military. We have no space here. Even when we try to comply to what we should not comply. This is an act of aggression against all the lawyers in this matter. And we are not taking it lightly. From here, the lead counsel will tell you the next step. But we are not going to take it lightly. It's a twist in this matter.
It is very possible to appeal against the judgment and ruling of this General Court Martial today against Counsel Aaron Kiza. But we have to appeal it to the Court Martial Court of Appeal. There is a constitutional court ruling that decided that appeals from this court shall no longer go to the High Court Criminal Division of the High Court of Uganda. They will always go to the Court Martial Court of Appeal. So from this that has happened today to our colleague Aaron Kiza, we intend to file an appeal to the Court Martial Court of Appeal to challenge this illegal ruling that has been done today. And in the interim, we intend to apply for his bail and secure his liberty, which has been denied of him brutally and wrongfully. It is very unconstitutional that our colleague has been detained without a fair hearing. What they have done is contrary to Article 28 of the Constitution and guaranteed under Article 44 of the Constitution as a non-derogable right. But this court martial has abused all those constitutional rights, and we are going to fight that as Ugandans who fight for rights.
You see, I have said severally that when you fight corruption, corruption fights back. It is also true that when you fight injustice, injustice fights back. That's what has happened to all the people that have been through this court martial. That's what has happened to Dr. Kiza Besigye, Obed Lutale, who are known fighters against injustice. Injustice is fighting back against them. That's what has happened to Counsel Aaron Kiza, who is a known fighter against injustice in this country. It was very clear that they had planned to do this to Aaron Kiza because he's a known lawyer, part of the legal team, who was instructed by the accused persons, Court does not determine who should represent you in court. So Aaron Kiza is one of the lawyers. Why then do you bar him access to where the lawyers are seated? Why? It does not make sense at all. It's important that we stand up against this drama. We in the opposition, in the coming days, together with party leaders and so on, we are going to be touching base to establish what more we can get to do to push back. Because it's important that we push back. If they do these things and we keep quiet, it will become normalized. But you see, this should not just be a matter of we in the opposition. All right-thinking Ugandans should be bothered by these injustices because it's coming to you. You heard Mr. Museveni the other day saying bail should cease to be granted, police bond should cease to be granted. All of us must be concerned about these injustices. Today it is Dr. Kiza, Besigye, Obed Lutale, Aaron Kiza. Tomorrow it will be you. When you're being denied bail, when you're being denied police bond, when you are probably before this tribunal here. So all right-thinking Ugandans should say no to this. We're hoping that in the coming days we'll hear religious leaders, cultural leaders, civil society, all right-thinking Ugandans speak out against this. It should not just be a question of we in the opposition because nobody is safe in a sinking boat.
Darifou, avocat franco-comorien. Je suis venu ici aujourd'hui pour exprimer ma solidarité et puis le témoignage panafricain à notre frère qui est poursuivi pour des raisons politiques. Il s'agit d'un procès purement politique.
Okay, so his name is Said Larifou. He's a jurist. He's a Franco-Comorian. He's a Franco-Comorian jurist. He has come to stand in solidarity with the team here and with Dr. Besigye, and witnessing what has happened here, and to understanding the context of the politics in our continent. He felt that it is very important for him to come here and be here today, and also to be a witness in support of Dr. Besigye as this trial and in search of justice goes on.
Oui, j'ai l'expérience, l'habitude d'assister à des procès politiques. J'ai été déjà victime des répressions judiciaires pour des raisons politiques. J'ai déjà défendu plusieurs fois des hommes politiques. Je sais que le contexte n'est toujours pas facile, mais je ne m'attendais pas à une telle provocation faite aux avocats.
Okay, so he has a lot of experience, himself having been a victim of political overreach, and also having represented many people like him around the world for that. But even that did not prepare him for what he has witnessed here today.
Ce que nous vivons là à l'instant est l'expression d'une société qui est malade. Lorsqu'un avocat et lorsqu'un médecin se font arrêter et juger devant un tribunal d'exception, un tribunal militaire, c'est l'expression d'une société qui est malade.
So it is very clear today that we live in a society that is sick, that if an advocate can be provoked and then brutalized in the manner that it happened today.
Notre confrère est constitué dans un dossier politique, et lorsqu'on parle d'un dossier politique devant un tribunal militaire, on s'attend à des tensions. Bon, donc sa présence musclée et puis la réponse disproportionnée des militaires.
So, as political activists, it is not a surprise that when we come to such courts, we expect that there will be a little bit of tension.
Requiert La réponse qui a été donnée au tribunal militaire à la position de notre confrère et puis à la réaction à la brutalité militaire dont il était victime requiert notre solidarité. Nous sommes tous solidaires puisqu'il s'agit d'une journée triste pour les libertés, pour les avocats, de voir un des nôtres se faire arrêter militari parce que tout simplement il a condamné la provocation dont nous avons tous été victimes.
Okay, so today must be such a sad day to see one of our own advocates brutalized in a very militant way just because he tried to stand in for justice and he was provoked and what followed was way beyond. And therefore, when you witness something like that, then you realize that you must be called to stand up for a day when this will stop.